Welcome to Art of. Today we'll do some photo enhancement, bringing out details and adjusting the overall lights, sky replacement, adding depth of field, coloring. Ready? Let's go. As a start, we will open this photo in Camera Raw in Photoshop. First, let's decrease the highlights, then increase the shadows to bring back some details. I will slightly decrease the whites and the blacks, and adjust the contrast and exposure. Now let's move to the effects. We will increase texture, clarity, and dehaze as we want to enhance the details. By moving to optics, I will apply remove chromatic aberrations and lens correction. We are done with the Camera Raw interface, so let's go to the main one. First, duplicate the background layer and rename it Sky. Go to Edit then, Sky Replacement. You can choose the one you want. I will go with this one. I will adjust its temperature, the fade, and the shift edge, and slightly increase the scale. Then click OK. As you see, a new group appeared with a layer for the sky adjustment. Let's set the new adjustment into a group and rename it Sky. Now, let's merge all the layers into a new one and rename it BG, Background. From the quick actions, we will pick Select Subject. Once the subject is selected, duplicate the layer. Reselect the subject by holding Control on Windows or Command on Mac and click on the new layer with the left mouse button. Go to Select, Modify, and then Expand. As the photo is large, I will use 50 as the expansion value. This value may vary depending on the dimensions of the photo. Now, select back the BG layer, use any select tool and fill it with Content Aware. It's time to transform the layer into a smart object and apply some filters on it. Go to Filter, then Blur Gallery, and finally pick Tilt Shift. For now, adjust those lines as they will determine which parts of the photo will be blurred. You don't need to overblur it. I will go with 50 as the blur amount and 30% as distortion. Then click OK. As you see, the bottom looks creepy as it's part of the foreground. Let's remove the blur effect by setting a gradient on the filter mask. Just adjust it to keep that depth of field on the sky and the mountains in the background. Once we are done, let's create a new layer on top of the BG layer. We will add some Dreamy color. I will fill the new layer with an orange color. Now change its blend mode to Screen. Decrease its opacity to 22%, then set a mask on it. I will keep the orange tint on the top of the background as the first step. I will adjust the opacity to 29%. Now duplicate it and move it above layer 1, the subject. Transform it, flip it vertically, and adjust it by using the gradient on the mask. I will leave just a small part of it. Now let's set all those new layers into a group and rename it Blur. It's just about being organized. Time for the selective color to adjust the tints and make it a little bit dreamy. Feel free to color the way you want. You can still replicate my settings. Now I will use a curve layer to slightly adjust the overall contrast. Finally, I will use the color lookup adjustment layer. I will use Candlelight and set its blend mode to luminosity, then decrease its opacity to 35%. I will group all those adjustment layers and rename the group Color. If you are still here, I will be so glad if you subscribe, as this encourages me to upload more videos. And as always, may we meet again.